So, John, it's great to have you with us in Inverness and welcome to this part of Scotland. You've got an affinity to Scotland, I know from the things that I've read about you. Tell us a bit about that.
I have got a great affinity to Scotland because though I can't find a single shred of Celtic blood in me, I'm alas a Anglo-Saxon, I'm afraid. You don't find many, but here I am. Came to Scotland quite early on, I mean in my late 20s, and we holidayed on the mainland in a place called Ardtornish, which is on the peninsula just below the Ardnamurchan, Mountain, us facing Mull, and it was just an absolute, well, it was a total eye-opener. The scale, the beauty, we were just not prepared for it. We didn't feel we were in Britain.
And that started
That
the
started
relationship.
it, and then every Easter almost, we would come up to the west coast. Then we discovered Iona, which is a brilliant place if you come for 4 or 5 days, because basically you can walk all the way around the whole island,
Yeah.
and you can get quite sort of jolly in the Argyle Hotel, which is the only hotel on the island, and it's just beautiful.
So we're in Inverness today. What about this part of Scotland? Is this part that you're familiar with, or is this a new experience?
I am guilty of gross neglect. I have been to Inverness only once before. And even today, I haven't actually been down into the town yet. But this is the second time I've been to Inverness. The first time I came for the referendum.
Okay.
Because we were interested, because there used to be sort of Liberal Democrat pockets around, but we'd also heard that Aberdeen was a little more variable and indeed possibly quite strongly anti-independence and all the rest of it. So we got a good mix up here. But I loved Inverness. I had the great good fortune to meet a fellow called Jim Prentice. Now, Jim is one of those characters who is restoring the pier. The pier. Well, I can't tell where I am. The pier just across the water.
Right.
And that's in the Murray Firth. Yeah. And he had a boat. And he took us out on the boat, under the bridge. We all shouted, "Oi!" and heard ourselves back. And I was just totally bowled over by the beauty and the setting of Inverness. And it made beautiful footage for the news.
I'm sure it did.
In the same trip, I went across to the far side, onto the west, and we went to Lewis and Harris.
Yeah.
Which again, I mean, if you want to be bowled over, there are Scots that haven't had this experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let alone us Sassenachs.